Welcome back to some more Midnight Club Street Racing, the final part of Midnight Club Street Racing, in fact, part number 11. And pretty much with everything pretty much just about done in the game, we're just going to show off the couple last things there is left to, well, show off in the game. The first of which is the capture the flag mode, which is kind of more meant for two-player mode, really. It's just kind of more suited for multiple players, but you can obviously, of course, play it by yourself and go against the AI. And as you can notice here, there's a lot of different settings you can set, as well as shown on the previous screen, to pretty much get the exact kind of game that you want. So you get your player options, your score options, your driving options, and your and all that kind of stuff. And of course the amount of AI too and whatnot, and so you can get exactly the kind of game that you want, which makes this mode really good in the way, because you know you can get it exactly the way you want it to be. Like, nothing's really too off limits. Anyways, for this I'm going to be showing off the final of Darren's cars, the Yamata Crescendo, which is considerably different. It looks more like a Skyline, if anything. There's a lot of design cues from that. And notice on the left there, you're not reading that crazy. Yes, this car has nitrous. It has, in fact, 15 units of nitrous. 15. And it kind of really helps this car, because the Crescendo, whilst not really meant for, not really the top-end car compared to the Fiorenzas, it's loads of nitrous means it doesn't really need that as much, because it can still reach a pretty good speed and all that stuff and whatnot. And it's also the best handling of all the bunch too, which is also quite interesting. But pretty much I'm just going to be showing off here what the capture the flag mode essentially is, like how it works. Basically, you're going to have a set point on the map. There's going to be two spots. There will be a yellow dot and a green dot. The yellow dot is the flag. You want to reach the flag before anyone else does. So basically that's why I'm kind of like spamming the nitrous here, because I kind of screwed myself over a bit. But basically it's just whoever can pick it up first get the flag, and then pretty much, yes, I know it does just say you have flag. It's not very well written, but basically once you got the flag, then all you have to do then, the goal is just to get the flag to the green dot, which is basically the destination, and you'll have delivered the flag, in which you'll get some quite a few amount of points for. I believe there's like a set amount of points it will end after. I think it was shown in the options somewhere. I should have been paying a little more attention, but yes, basically even the opponents can get the flag, not just you, and it will mention something like op has flags. I guess, again, great English there. So basically, you know, the whole point is just to kind of if someone else has the flag, you want to chase them down, with the incentive being that is to hit them. You want to hit the cars, because when you hit the cars, they drop the flag and it goes to you. So you have the flag. And I'm not quite sure how I didn't lose the flag from this guy pushing me from behind here, but hey, that's good enough. So pretty much that's just kind of the whole point of it. I could have kept going on and just play like a whole game, but I don't here, because my whole incentive was to kind of give you guys the idea of exactly how this mode works and everything. So pretty much at this point, I'm just using up like the remaining nitrous units to kind of get an idea of how fast this car can go, to show people. It kind of coasts around 170 after a while, but you can of course use the nitrous units to gain some extra speed, and it's around 180 is when this car starts hitting its absolute top end. So still, it's a pretty good high end regardless. So yeah, I just leave the match just because I don't need to keep doing it. And you do lose your points if you do that, but that's of course obviously because you just forfeited the match, which is kind of a given. So the very last thing we're going to be showing off is we're going to be going to the cruise. We're at London to show off, yes, the Zender Type S, the car I should have unlocked earlier on in the game when I did everything in the career mode, but for some reason the game didn't give it to me. I used a cheat device to help get me the car, because I did want to show it off to kind of give it more of a completion sense of showing off each thing. So the big fuss about the Zender Type S is it's not like any other vehicle in the game. It's actually an quote-unquote airfield vehicle. It's actually a hover car, which has some design cues of the Zender, but not really. It's quite a bit different. So it's a very unique car, and it's kind of what a lot of people like to get at. And it's quite quick. It's not Zender Beta levels of quick, but it is, you know, Zender Alpha territory. But the big problem with the Type S is extremely apparent. This is probably considerably one of the worst handling cars in the game. You try to take a turn and it'll basically snap to that steering and basically kind of refuse to really let up. You have to really be gentle with the car and kind of just be precise with the movements. You can't just let the car you'll let the car just slip up because it really likes to just lock onto the steering, which is kind of what I'm kind of showing off a bit, but going back and forth, it once it gets stuck in a turn, it does not want to get out of that turn. So you have to just basically be very, very careful with the car. So but what I'm basically trying to show off here is the Thames jump, probably because a lot of people would have wanted me to try to do this in the Zender Type S, but as you can see here, it's just trying to get to the jump even with this vehicle is quite difficult, just because you think it would be easy to straighten the car up and get it into the corner, but no, it just wants to fight against you. That's how bad the handling on this thing is. It's kind of a shame because I would have loved to see this have some interesting handling, but I mean, I would have never expected it to be the best, but yeah, you can kind of see the problem it's giving me. In fact, that's another issue involving the game's physics, is the Thames jump. If you're not careful enough, you can glitch through the wall and fall into the river without even really properly taking the jump. So, and the Type S is quite capable of doing that. So, in fact, you can just look at it there. I'm just trying to fight with it there, and it's just constantly wanting to go to the wall and not let up. It really doesn't want you to steer this properly, straight, or anything. It's just like, want to go this way? Well, fuck you, I'm going this way. It's, yeah, quite a hassle to work with, to say the least. But once you get it down, you can get it straight, you can build enough speed, and of course make the jump with the Zender Type S on Thames. And then, so that's pretty much the car. It's just a vehicle that has no wheels. It just kind of floats around. It has very poor handling. You pretty much get the idea from there. And pretty much the rest of this part is just kind of me driving around with the vehicles. Just nothing too really important, to say the least. That's just to show that even going through the water, it does slow the vehicle down, which is strange because it really shouldn't, because it doesn't have any tires. So, and you know, me just doing like another series of jumps there. It's pretty much all the normal. So yeah, I guess in the long run, that's Midnight Club Street Racing for you. It was a PlayStation 2 launch title, and it's a fairly alright game. I definitely think it hasn't aged as well. I think more on the sense of the physics and the game's general length being rather short. But again, it was a 2000 game, and it was a PlayStation 2 launch title, so I'm going to cut it some slack for that reason. But yeah, if you can get a copy of this game, which isn't that hard to do, there's quite a few copies of this game were sold. I think this was a greatest hits title. You can definitely pick it up. I would recommend it, you know, just if you want to see where the Midnight Club series got its start. Kind of wish Midnight Club would come back, but we don't know if that'll be the case because the whole street racing fad isn't really as popular as it once was. But basically, who knows? So it's worth giving a look at if you want a game. I mean, if something like this tickles your fancies. That's a weird way of putting it. But basically though, that's been the game. I've been Thunder. You can follow me on Twitter at HGCentralYT. You can donate to my Patreon at my Patreon account if you want to support the channel. It's not actually required. And as always, I thank you guys for watching this series. I will be returning very shortly with the next game, which is going to be a PlayStation 1 game with the first driver game. Yes, another first in a series of games for the channel. So anyways, as always, thank you guys for watching, and take care.